Yo, yo, yo. It has been a very long time since the last video that I made. I'm thinking somewhere in maybe summer, and now it's almost March. So I want to show off a couple things here. I got a bunch of cool stuff in the mail within the last week, and then I just got back an SGC order, and I'm putting together a PSA order. So I figured let's just combine some stuff here, throw together maybe a good quick 20-minute and see how it goes. Kick some rust off and get back into the swing of things. First things first, I got back this Green Bay Packers 82 police set. And what happened was I had sold it in October of 2023 to some business. I don't know if it was a card shop or collectible place or what in Las Vegas, and never heard a thing about it. Never got any kind of negative feedback. Never asked about where the package was, anything like that. And it came back yesterday, and it had a return to sender thing on there along with the October 23 shipping label, and there was a note that was also attached saying that the business is now closed. So I don't know. It got kicked around through the post office for the last 14 months, and then it came back to my house. So I might just keep this for myself. I sold off all the rest. I had bought like 20 of them at a rummage sale in Green Bay and sold all of them at like $20 a pop. And this one is now back in my hands, so maybe I should keep it. So just kind of an interesting thing. I've been selling on eBay for a number of years, and I've never had anything like this happen. So just kind of a unique, isolated incident, I suppose. All right, and then once in a while, I'll keep tabs on when these all pro skateboard packs come up. I love the artwork on these. They're from '78, and Stacy Peralta, known of Paul Peralta fame, has a rookie card in here, and it's like the first. I don't know. I think '76 had a skateboarding set, but this is the first set that actually featured professional skateboarders. So pretty neat. There is a lot of like skateboard Hall of Famers that are in here, and it's like $5 a pack, which is you're not going to find that for a new pack at Walmart. So the packs themselves aren't in the greatest shape. So I think at some point I'll probably just rip them as opposed to maybe getting them slabbed, and that'll make for a fun rainy day activity. All right. To go along with the skateboarding theme, I've mentioned this before, but I grew up as a BMXer. A lot of my friends skateboarded. We watched a lot of BMX and skateboard videos growing up. So whenever I can come across a Matt Hoffman card, especially an auto, the price is right, I pick it up. And I think I probably found this for under $20. And I mean, he's the greatest vert rider of all time. So very innovative to the sport of BMX, and anytime, like I said, I can grab anything of his for cheap, I do it. Okay, next auto I have here is a Glenn Hubbard with the giant snake and the Philly Fanatic in the background. This card has become pretty iconic, I would say, for being just like a goofball card. And Glenn Hubbard used to sign regularly through the mail, but he's really tapered off in the past couple years, and I've heard that he no longer even will sign this card just because this is like the only card that he was getting constantly. And so I found this one on eBay and thought the price was right and pulled the trigger on it. Happy to have it in my collection. I'd been searching for a raw one for a while, but I was also trying to line that up for when he was signing, and there'd be like a window where he would sign for a little bit and then he'd stop for another 8 months. And so I figured just buy it, get it out of the way, and have it in my collection. All right, and then the last two autos that I have here are these Bob Uecker index cards. As you probably know, Bob Uecker passed away in January, and you may, if you watch my videos, you know that I pick up Uecker signatures whenever I can, and I still am. If I can find them right in the range where they were right before he passed away. They've jumped a little bit, but you know they skyrocketed the day he passed away and for that weekend, and then everything's kind of come back down. At any rate, I'm still buying these up, and just get them slabbed. And I wouldn't call myself a Uecker super collector by any means, but he was the voice of Milwaukee baseball, and just like the guy in Wisconsin. So when he passed away, it hurt a lot of people, and it's like the only voice you knew for the entire run of the Milwaukee Brewers. So pick those up, and I'll get those slabbed at some point from PSA. Okay, so now I've got this SGC set. Quick backstory. I bought these 66 cards from my buddy's father-in-law, who had like 400 plus slabs of PSA 66 cards and a bunch of raw 66 cards, and he had a binder of like his favorite, the best condition ones, and he was looking to move everything but the binder. So I went through, and my buddy knew that I collected and reached out to me. We worked out a deal. I bought only the raw cards. I didn't really want to deal with the slabs. I sent them off to Greg Morris Cards to have them take care of that. I thought that that'd be the best place for them, and it turned out that it was, based upon my estimate of what they would go for. It pretty much hit it on the head, so I was super stoked for that, and for helping them out, and and then giving them what I thought was a fair deal, and they kind of gave me a little bit off the top for looking out and doing the legwork and whatever, just for putting them in the right direction. So at any rate, I kept a bunch of raw cards, sent most of them to ComC that were in like lower grade, and some high numbers, and about 80 high numbers, I believe. And then I kept these Hall of Famers, and the next handful here I'll show you, and then I've got a PSA submission that I'm putting together for the other ones that I want for my PC. So to start things off, we've got these 66 Willie Mays rub-offs. These were really hard for me to guess how they would grade. I thought the 3 was better. I thought the 1.5 it's probably about accurate. It's got like some wrinkles in it and whatever. But these are just really cool, and I was really unfamiliar with them. They're basically just like a rub-on tattoo, and you can see on the back here, you'd rub that on so that you'd have Willie Mays on your arm or neck or whatever. And so, pretty neat, but I'm not like a huge Willie Mays collector, so I'll probably just move on from these, and that's kind of why I figured that I would send those to SGC. And I'm thinking because that they are so cool that I might end up trying to get like a Hank Aaron one, because that's really more of the guy that I like. So got those two. Then moving on, we've got this Willie Mays in a 4.5. And all these grades came back like super great. You never really know with vintage what you're going to kind of get, how hard they're going to lean on you, and and nitpick and things. Obviously, this card's pretty off-center, but the corners are sharp, the edges are sharp. To get a 4.5 is fantastic. I figured, a 4 was probably more likely. And, with the off-centering, you really don't know, how that's going to play out. So I thought all these grades, as you'll see, came back really, really good for what I was sending in. I've got this I've got this Mickey Mantle here. After back-to-back Willie Mays cards, I wanted to go for the hat trick. But this is a Mickey Mantle here in a 5. A little bit off on the centering, but again, pretty sharp overall. And stoked it came back as a 5. There's an Ernie Banks, 6'5", phenomenal, very well centered. Super stoked on that. Not a big Cubs fan by any mean. I've got a Banks rookie. I've got a signed ball from him. So this wouldn't be a PC card for me. Appreciate him as a player, but if you're not really a Cubs fan, you're probably not going to collect a lot of Cubs. And being from Milwaukee, we kind of hate the Cubs and we hate the Cardinals too. But you'll see a Cardinal up here in just a minute. Up next, Fergie Jenkins, 5'5". I considered sending this to PSA for my PC because I do collect rookies and Hall of Fame rookies instead of slabbed. But Fergie's, you can get 5s, you can get 7s like relatively cheap. I want to say I was looking some up not too long ago, and they were like $250. I could be wrong on that, but they're definitely affordable for a higher grade. And so I knew that this probably wouldn't catch that grade, and I was right. And so I figured that I would send this one to SGC, get it slabbed, and then I can move it and then maybe put that towards getting a 7. And then I had 2 other ones that weren't as sharp, but are well centered, that I'm going to send them to through the mail to get signed. He's a great signer. He'll add Hall of Fame without an additional cost. So get those sent off here soon enough. All right, like I said, I do hate the Cardinals, but you can't deny how great Bob Gibson was. And if you've watched a video of me from previous when I showed off like my favorite 30 cards, I had a pretty great story about meeting Bob Gibson, so you might want to rewind and check that out at some point. Anyway, well-centered, touch off, but this what a great grade. To get a 7 on a card from 1966 that's been sitting in a box, phenomenal. You can't really ask for more. All right, we got a couple more left here. This Gaylord Perry. So this is the last card of this set, and looked really sharp. Wanted to send that in. The first card of the set, which was Willie Mays, and then the last card of this set being Gaylord Perry. Because of kids putting cards in rubber bands and whatever, they generally demand kind of a premium, and Topps always put the best player as number 1 of that era. And then, this was a high number, and Gaylord Perry got into the Hall of Fame. So, pretty cool. I've got 2 other ones that were both in like very good condition. If they graded better than a 3, it'd surprise me. So, sent this one off. Happy with the grade. I'll move that, and put it towards another card that I want. All right, I've got this Euchre rookie. Again, that's a high number. He used to sign all the time through the mail. I know that if you look at his signature prices now, especially after he passed away, it doesn't appear that he signed a lot, but he did. And I sent him 3 different cards, and I'd space it out like a year at a time because I didn't want to overwhelm the guy. That's not right. But you send one off at a time, and this was the 4th card that I sent off, and it came back unsigned with a note saying that he's no longer signing. And, it was such a bummer because, it was obviously it's his rookie card. And so I held on to it forever, didn't want to get it slabbed. I've got a 6.5 in a PSA that I had bought in the summer of 2020. And I wanted to get this one signed, but there was just never an event that came up that, he was doing a public signing, which I pretty much was sure he wasn't going to do, or even having a chance to know somebody who's in with the Brewers that could get me an autograph of him. So unfortunately, he passed away. This card will never get signed, and I figured I might as well now is the time to get it slabbed. So came back as a 2-5, which is about what I expected. It was a low grade card. I didn't want to send in a rookie card through the mail, and you never know what's going to happen with it. But it came back, but again unsigned. So now it's slabbed. And then the last one of this submission is this Nolan Ryan in a 3. I had bought this raw at a card show at the end of summer, maybe beginning of fall, and I thought it would do better than this, but I didn't really know like where it would be at. At any rate, I was gonna make a run at Nolan Ryan cards, and when I bought this, I had the intention of potentially doing so, but what ended up happening was I'd gotten other cards back of Nolan Ryan, and like they were just grades lower than I anticipated them getting, and it kind of, I don't know, it kind of diminished my whole idea of what I wanted to do. I've got his rookie card already, and so I thought I could put together the rest of them and higher grade. But when they were all like 4s and 5s, I opted against it then, and I thought it'd be a project I could come back to. I want to make a run at Nolan Ryan, I want to make a run at Hank Aaron cards first, and then maybe I can focus on Nolan Ryan. But Aaron played for like 22 years, and Nolan Ryan played for 25. So that's, that adds up quickly when you're going for higher vintage grades. Even mid vintage or mid grade vintage can add up pretty quick. So at any rate, I figured I would send this in, flip it, and move on. But I do love this card a lot. The 72 Topps font is incredible. It's one of my favorites. I know some people really dislike it, but I love it. And the Angels hat is phenomenal with the lowercase a and the halo. I'm trying to find one of those for me to wear around town. But so that concludes that run. And then I'm putting together I'm putting together a PSA submission. And really quick here, we'll run through those. So there's a Willie Mays. Still a touch off center, maybe, I don't know, 70-30, 65-35, not quite sure. But, either way, a little bit off, but still, it's better than the other one. So I'm going to send that to PSA, and I'll hold that one for my personal collection. Then I've got these 2 Mantles. And both of them are really well centered, maybe a touch off, but I thought they looked appealing, more eye appeal than the other one that I'd sent off. The one on the left I think is sharper. The one on the right is better centered. So we'll see how they do, but I'll keep the better of the 2, and I'll move the other one and put that again towards another card that I'm interested in. All right. Basically the same explanation here for the Koufax. Both cards are super nice. Both are a touch off center, but both really sharp. And whichever one's better is the one I'll keep, and the other one I will move. Jim Palmer rookie. Unlike forget everything I said about the Fergie Jenkins, because I think Jim Palmer is pretty affordable too. But this one's really nice, and I figured if it came back as like a 6, that'd be splendid. And I could have the Hall of Fame rookie on a PSA in my collection, and yeah. Then I got this Don Sutton that I think will be like a 4 or a 5, honestly. It's relatively sharp, but it does have like some flaws if you look close to it. But Don Sutton's not like, he's not collectible like Koufax is or Nolan Ryan is. So I figured it's an opportunity to get this card in my collection, have it slabbed up, If I want to upgrade down the line, I always can, but this one just kind of fell into my lap, and so I figured I might as well, snag it and just, put it in with the rest of my Hall of Famers. And then last but not least, I've got these Roberto Don't Call Me Bob Clementes, and all three of them are really nice. This one here and this one, though, I don't know if you can tell, it's a little bit like jagged on the top on that border there. So the edge being that way, I don't know how those will shake out. I think the one on the right is probably easily the best. But I figured I'd send all three of them off and see what happens. And then again, whichever one comes back the best, I'll keep, and then I'll move on with the other two. So, but yeah, we're right at that 20-minute mark. That's what I was hoping for. So that's about it. I've got 3 ticket subs over at PSA right now. I haven't been doing a lot with cards, so I've been doing more with tickets. Always doing stuff with signatures. One is signed tickets. The other 2 are tickets I'd picked up that are all at PSA right now. And then I've got a handful of cards that are also at PSA that are signed. So when those all come back, hopefully you'll see me again. And it's been a long time. So if you check back in with me, I really appreciate it. And hopefully we'll catch you soon. Peace.